Hello, everybody. It's Friday. That means it's time for another topic of the week. So, first things first, last week's topic on the Nova Open and my experience. Thank you for all the kind words there, for everybody sharing. I hope to see everybody there next year. It was an amazing experience. So, this week, for our topic, we're about to hit the Beast of Chaos, and, we'll talk about them in coming weeks. But it gave me an excuse to paint up a Shaggoth, something that's been sitting on my shelf for a while. He's been sadly sitting there in pieces, but this was the reason I needed to get him out and give him some paint. And it made me think about it, because I really do like that model. He's a goofball. He weighs 100 pounds, but because he was the metal version. But I really love that model. And that made me think about those old models. Beast of Chaos is breathing a lot of life into, what are some older models, but I think are still some quite good ones. Gore, a fairly old kit. Bestigor, a fairly old kit, but I think they're quite good. So it raises the question of, old models that you like, that you'd love to see maybe some new life breathed into. What's your favorite old models that you think they don't have any problem? Like, they've ridden for a long time and they're still great, okay? Now, when I say old here, I don't mean it came out in 2013, okay? I mean old, right? And I'll say, I'm not generally a fan of, like, old hammer style or anything like that. I have no love of classic models. I hate, in general, most, like, 80s and 90s models with their weird I really don't like most old models. Personal opinion. It's not a value judgment. If you love them, that's cool. That's personal aesthetic. You like what you like. No judgment there whatsoever. But just the sort of like 90s style of the giant hands and the goofy faces and everything, I can't handle it. And that's why I don't like a lot of modern metal models too. They tend to preserve that look. I am more a fan of the modern aesthetic. But there are some old models that preserve. This has been a week of old models, because earlier in the week I did Sigvald the Magnificent, or what was that model? Another, I think, pretty great sculpt overall. So the question is, that one old model that you love, that you think still stands the test of time. And for me, that's going to be, I have one answer. That is to say, there are many that I enjoy. There's really one that's above else. There's a couple near misses. Things like the Green Knight, I think, is a really beautiful model of, metal originally, and, he's made forever and ever ago. But I think he just is a really classic sculpt. Everything except his shield, which is just the dumbest of the dumb. But jettison that thing and replace the shield, and you got a good model in your hands. But the winner for me, it's got to be the Arch Warlock. What used to be Ikit Claw. And this is often the case with character models, right? Some of those character models had such incredible character that they really do just stand up. Sigvald Queek, also from the Skaven range. Queek was an incredible model. Now, he got remade at some point. But, by the way, I would actually accept either version of the Arch Warlock. The new one, the one that's out now, that's still metal, or Finecast, I think. I think he got, at some point, made as a Finecast model, but it's terrible, because he has little spindly bits. I would even accept the 90s one. I had that one for a long time, and he was my favorite model back then. I thought he was the best-looking Skaven, when the sort of 4th edition model of him that existed. I think it's always just been it's a great look. They always nailed the aesthetic of it, and I think when they did do the metal one, it's still, he's still probably almost, if not, then darn close to 20 years old at this point, which I think qualifies for how I'm thinking about this. I think he just holds up, and they really captured everything that was good about the old aesthetic, but smoothed it out. Really played with what you can do with the sculpt. He's got good angles. He's got a really nice sense of, like, the way he's positioned has an aggression to it I quite like. So that's mine. I don't really ever need a new version of him. Like, that is to say, if you were ever, I love him in plastic, but if I had him in plastic, I would just want the same exact model. Like, literally just take the same thing. I don't want him in Finecast. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So, that's my pick. But what's yours? What's your favorite old model that you don't think needs to be redone? What's the one that's just perfect how they are? So, that's this week's topic. Drop it below, or as always, make a response video. I'll link that down there as well. But I appreciate you watching this one, and as always, we'll see you next time.